Alright, so it feels kind of weird to do a class setup video for a game that came out in 2007, but I was thinking about it, and the average age of a Call of Duty player is probably like 15 or something, so that means that they were like 6 years old when COD 4 came out. So I think a lot of this community has never even played COD 4, or if they did, they were just like so young that they probably don't even remember or didn't play it that much, or I don't even, like, does it even count if you're like 4 years old playing a game? Like, I don't even know if you'd remember that. So it is my job as a 36-year-old veteran Call of Duty athlete to help out all of these people who might not have enough experience with COD 4 to know what all of the best classes are. So basically, that's what we're going to be doing today. The good thing about COD 4 is that it's really simple, so a lot of the classes that I use are the same, and they just have a very like minor change in each one. There's honestly not that much you can do to customize the classes compared to what we're used to nowadays with all of the newer CODs with a million different fucking things. So that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna just keep this very simple. We're just gonna do an AR class and an SMG class. There's not much variety you can really do, so obviously you want to use the M16. Personally, I do use the red dot. I don't know anyone who doesn't use the red dot, but you know, you could use the ACOG or no attachment at all if you want. Don't use the new tube. Don't be a loser, and it takes away your perk one, so there's really no reason to use that. I personally use the red dot camo. You know, put whatever you want on it. It doesn't matter. I've never even seen all these camos. I don't have any of these unlocked. I think I'm at Blue Tiger in the actual like pubs. Secondary, you want to use the Desert Eagle. It is the best pistol. Pretty simple. No attachments for it. Camo, you know, whatever you want. Doesn't really matter. We'll put that on there. Tactical. This one's kind of weird because I personally usually would use stuns, but flashes in the remastered version are actually probably better. They last for, I don't know how long, at least 5 seconds, I would say. It's a pretty substantial amount of time, so I've actually been using flashes. The only downside is that it does take a little bit longer to throw a flash than it does to throw a stun, but I think that's how it's been in all of the Call of Duty, so, you know, nothing really new there. Now, as far as the perks, this is where the main variety in the game will come through. As far as perk 1, what I mainly use frag times 3. Yes, I am a fucking loser, I'm aware. But other stuff you could use if you wanted to. You can use special grenades times 3. Those are pretty good as well. Bandolier as well is useful if you plan on staying alive. If you don't worry about it. Because the thing about this game is usually, especially on like shipment, as soon as I get my helicopter, I'll just get super aggressive and I'll run out there and die immediately so that I can get my new stuff. So there's really no reason for something like Bandolier, but on other maps where you're not trying to die like that, Bandolier is useful. I wouldn't recommend anything else like Claymores and stuff, RPGs, all that. Not really necessary. C4 is not that great in COD 4. It's not like the newer games, so I wouldn't recommend any of that. But I personally mainly just use frag times 3. Perk 2, this is where a lot of people will vary between Jug or Stopping Power. You gotta use Jug or Stopping Power. Those are really the only two options, or you're gonna be at a severe disadvantage. I know some people use UAV Jammer. You'll run into that occasionally, not very often. I really do love Sleight of Hand as a perk, but it can't compete with Stopping Power or Jug. Double Tap, wouldn't really recommend using that. Overkill, wouldn't recommend that. It's just Jug or Stopping Power. I actually found that I've been using Jug a lot on the M16, which I didn't used to do, but I don't know, even without stopping power, the M16 is still so good that Jug, I'm finding, actually helps me out a lot. So I have 2 classes for the M16. One has Jug and one has stopping power, and really just depending on the game situation that I'm in, I'll switch out between them, whatever I feel is more necessary for that map or whatever. So that's kind of what I do with perk 2. Perk 3, I've been using Deep Impact. You can use Steady Aim as well. I started out using Steady Aim, and I think back in the day I used to use Steady Aim, but I found myself not really hip firing very much in this game. So I took it off, put on Deep Impact. You can use Extreme Conditioning as well. Don't use Last Stand. Don't be a loser. Martyrdom, I actually do have Martyrdom on all of my shipment class setups because it'll get you like 10 kills, you know, at least like 5 to 10 kills in a full game of shipment, so it's actually worth it. Although I guess you are kind of being a loser. I'll go ahead and embrace that, I guess, but Iron Lungs, you don't need that. Eavesdrop, this is literally like a pointless perk. Although, I guess, I mean, it would be kind of funny to hear what the enemy team is saying. Maybe in, like, Search and Destroy it would be helpful, I don't know. But it's pretty pointless. And then Dead Silence, I would only recommend this for S&D or, like, bigger maps, maybe, where people will actually sound whore you. But if you're playing, like, Shipment Dumb, no one's going to be sound whoring you. You'll be alright. You don't really need Dead Silence. So that's really like a S&D perk, I would say. That's pretty much it for the perks. As far as the weapons now, real quick, I'll just go through. I think the M16, obviously, well, that's the best gun in the game. Then I really do like the AK. That would be my second choice of gun, would be the AK. I think it hits pretty hard. It's pretty strong. And then the Carbine, the M4, would be my third choice. That would be my top 3 guns right here, in order, actually. M16, AK, Carbine, and then I think the G3 is alright. You know, it depends if you're good with using single shot weapons like that, but it is strong and it can be good. And then as far as these bottom 3, like, I don't know. I don't really think. I think the G3 is better than the M14, and I don't really feel that the G36 or the MP44 are good. You can use them if you want, but you'd honestly, you're just best suited with the M16. It just, nothing can compare to the M16 in this category, really. So that's pretty much it for that. SMGs, now, I would actually use the MP5. Now, as far as attachments on the MP5, really the only one you're looking at is either red dot or not red dot. I personally don't use the red dot. I know a lot of people like using it. I just think it adds recoil if you put it on, so I don't use the red dot, but that's really a personal preference type of thing. You know, if you like it, put it on. If you don't use it. Secondary Desert Eagle, of course, no attachments for that. Pretty self-explanatory. Desert Eagle is the best secondary. Once again, I have Flash. You could put Stun if you want. I would actually put Frag times 3 on this. Stopping Power, actually I would put Jug. I'd actually recommend running Jug for all SMGs. And then with ARs is where you're looking at Stopping Power, in my opinion at least. And then for perk 3, I use Steady Aim on all subs. Like, this is basically my class setup for every sub that I have. You know, the only subs I really would change would be, I think the AK-74U is my second choice for subs, and then the P90 would be my third choice. I don't think the Uzi or the Scorpion are very good. I don't know. Some people like to use them. Personally, I just think it goes MP5, 74U, P90 as far as subs go, and I don't use a red dot on any sub at all. I don't know, I don't like it. And then perk 3, I said Steady Aim. Yeah, so this is basically, you know, a basic sub setup from me. I don't even use subs that often. Literally, I use the M16 90% of the time, and then sometimes I might throw in something else, but, you know, it's not really anything crazy. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want to look at, like, I wouldn't even give you a sniper setup because I don't snipe, so go watch someone who snipes to give you that. I don't recommend running shotguns. I hate people that use shotguns, man. It's so annoying. If you want a LMG setup, like a RPD, I would recommend putting grip on the RPD. It is actually a little bit helpful. Same secondary, and then I guess, oh, if you put on grip, you can't have a primary perk, huh? Well, I think it's worth it, to be honest. And then I would put on maybe extreme. I wouldn't put steady. No, I'd probably put deep impact, actually. So yeah, this would be like an LMG setup for me. Although I don't ever really use LMGs, but if I did make one, it would be something like this. Or if I wanted to take the grip off of it, and I put a perk on, it would be Frag times 3. It'd be something like this if I don't want to have the grip. But I think the grip's actually worth it. It does make a difference. So I would actually recommend that over Frag times 3. So anyways, that's pretty much it for like my class setups. This is like my basic class setup that I use the majority of the time. The only difference I'll ever make is I might use Jug on it, which I actually find to be pretty effective as well. So anyways, that's pretty much it. This is the official Call of Duty Athlete approved class setup guide. If you have any questions, you shouldn't. It's pretty basic. This game's pretty simple. You can't even change your lethals. Frag is the only thing in the game. So it's such a simple game that the class setups that everyone uses are going to be very similar, you know what I mean? So anyways, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys all for watching. Be sure to leave a like rating if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're not already. Follow me on Twitter. Links in the description down below. Other than that, have a good day and peace out.